I just wanted to underscore that the focus of this is on seeking the truth. The focus is on making sure that the American public understands the threat to democracy that took place on January 6th. But there were real people affected by those actions. 140 Capitol Police officers injured, some of them permanently that day. 5 people lost their lives. Staffers were barricaded here in the Capitol. Members were affected. Everyone touched by January 6th deserves to find the truth.
So that was Representative Aguilar, Peter Aguilar from Texas, telling us that the commission, well, it's a select committee that Nancy Pelosi put together, is only looking for the truth. But, you know, we have this bipolar moment in America. It is just really, America is suffering from mental illness. And I've been trying to figure out, like, what it is. What is it? It's bipolar. It's high highs, low low. We are so divided right down the ass crack. It's unbelievable. So what you have, I mean, just look at the COVID vaccination numbers, for example, okay? 86% of Democrats have received at least one shot, compared with only 45% of Republicans. Somebody needs to tell Kevin McCarthy and the Republican leadership, the Mitch McConnells of the world, that if more Republicans die, they're going to have to work even harder to suppress the vote than they already are. I don't know why they're in a death cult, the people that follow this party. This party has nothing to do with Ronald Reagan or conservative. You're in a post-conservative moment. You're in the apocalypse. I mean, you have gone into the apocalyptic future by choice. You are literally dying by choice. You are literally getting sick by choice. You are literally downplaying a vaccination that could save you from the zombie apocalypse. I don't know what it is, but it's a definite mental illness, and it is definitely some bipolar moment that you can see in the data. Marjorie Taylor Greene is out there telling the Republican followers, they shouldn't even call themselves Republicans anymore. They have nothing to do with Republican policy or principles. Nothing. They're just, haters, and they want to die for Donald Trump or the idea. They want to die for Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell is now telling people on, this disgusting white supremacist Steve Bannon's show, the guy who stole all your freaking data from you and all your friends on Facebook so he could weaponize Facebook to get you to vote for a fat orange tax fraud, a cheat, right? So that he could spread white supremacist ideology across this here nation, and didn't count on the fact that some of you would have to die doing it from a virus. You know what I mean? But Marjorie Taylor Greene is out there saying, quote, "You can't force people to be part of a human experiment." Hey, Madge, it's not a human experiment. It's called the human race that we're trying to preserve. What kind of a freak is this? She doesn't want to be part of the human race, evidently. She believes in the QAnon fantastical theory that Mike Lindell is literally telling people to die for, and that is somewhere in August. Now it's August 17th, I think he said. Donald Trump's going to be 9-0 reinstated as president of the United States. Okay, you realize the Supreme Court will not be in session in August? You understand they're on vacation? We're on vacation! Yeah, you understand that, right? There is nobody there to overturn the results of his election, nor do we have anything in our Constitution called the reinstatement clause if Mike Lindell wants to invoke it. Wow, this is just, it's off the hook. It's really off the hook. But Donald Trump is out there now. He's out there. Did a rally in Sarasota, Florida over the weekend. Thank God I was at Robin and David's. Thank God. Because you know, and I know, that if I wasn't in a New Yorker's home where they only watch New York One and Spectrum original TV series and nothing else except for the occasional dip into MSNBC, and that's just for weather, then I would have watched that rally on the C-SPAN. You know that, because Howard would have said, turn them on, turn it on. But I was spared. So I had to watch it last night when I got home. Oh my God. Doesn't he have lawyers that tell him, if you're accused of a crime, just don't go in public and rant about it because you could be called as a witness against yourself? I don't know. I mean, I guess he was going to plead ignorance that he doesn't know the tax laws. But I have videotape of him knowing the tax laws. I literally have videotape of him saying that no one knows more than I do about tax laws. No one knows it better than I do, okay? No one knows. But at the Trump rally, he was talking about the tax charges, and he was saying, does anybody even know the answer to these questions about... And he's talking to a crowd in freaking Sarasota, Florida, about fringe benefits. Fringe benefits. Does anybody in this audience even remember what a fringe benefit is or was? Company cars? You're lucky if you get a company laptop. Oh my God, this is just so amazing. So he was out there in Sarasota pleading ignorance to the tax charges.
After good, hard-working people for not paying taxes on a company car. Company car. You didn't pay tax on the car or a company apartment. You used an apartment because you need an apartment because you have to travel too far where your house is. You didn't pay tax. Or education for your grandchildren. I don't even know. Do you have to? But does anybody know the answer to that stuff? Okay? But they indict people for that. But for murder and for selling massive amounts of the worst drugs in the world.
What?
That kill people left and right, that's okay.
I guess he's talking about...
Think of it. Think of how unfair it is. Never before has New York City and their prosecutors, or perhaps any prosecutors, criminally charged a company or a person for fringe benefits.
That's not true.
Fringe benefits.
They've charged...
Murder's okay. Human trafficking, no problem. But fringe benefits, you can't do that.
Okay, so you... By the way, they didn't. That did not land well with his audience, this rant about fringe benefits, because I don't think they know what they are. And if they do, it's a very distant memory for the old ones. So it didn't really go over very well. But I think he was comparing himself to Purdue Pharma and how they paid billions of dollars in fines, and that should be his fate, which means he's admitting guilt, and he could be a witness in his own trial. I mean, listen, it's too bad that he has just given up his defense of ignorance, because that is the perfect defense for Donald Trump. I mean, who's going to argue that this is the most ignorant man in the world? Like, no one. But now he's at his own rally bemoaning how wrong it is that anybody would be indicted for tax crimes involving things like the company car and the company apartment. Meanwhile, he's talking to people whose only fringe benefit is like a paper hat or a hairnet. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Oh my God. I mean, this was just frightening to I don't know what he's doing.